ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Wes Hutchison.
Thank you.
How's
Happy
it
to be
going,
here.
buddy?
Man, it's going. Just out here trying to stay sanitary, masking up.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I've got the Purell right here. Not Purell, Purell.
Yeah, freshy bottle. I've got the off-brand stuff. That's what you find a lot these days. It's tough to find the Purell and what's the other one?
Germex?
Yeah, Germex.
Yeah.
I feel like that's gold right now.
It probably could be used as actual currency.
100%.
Yeah.
Especially 2 months ago. No doubt it could be used as currency because you couldn't find it in the store.
Well, even now, I think that some of it's still hard to find, especially Germex. Toilet paper is a lot more easy to find now, thank God. But Germex, there's still a few of them, man, they're having problems with. Now you got a coin shortage and meat shortage. It's crazy, dude.
I'm not sure I ever truly understood the whole toilet paper thing.
I don't either. Like, why toilet paper? Why is that the first thing that everybody goes after?
And how much do you use?
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, watch the Charmin commercials. It's supposed to do like 2 or 3 sheets at a time.
And if you're an adult and you're not on the wet ones yet, you need to look into that.
Man, my wife got me into
Flushable wipes.
I had never... I just, that thought never entered my mind.
Yeah, no.
And I seen my wife, she used them. I'm like, why do you do that?
Right.
And I started doing it. And yeah, man, if you want to be a lot more clean, talking about sanitary, yeah, man, you're fresh.
Well, and it's just not something you devote a whole lot of daily thought to, so you don't think about it until then you realize that they're there, you start using them. It's like a revelation.
Yeah, I've borrowed so many of hers. She gets kind of upset at me. But yeah, man, it changes your life.
And congrats to you, by the way.
Hey, thank you,
Domesticated.
Thank you. Yeah, man.
And congrats to her, too.
Yeah, lock and chain right here. She's got me locked down.
Man. That's awesome.
That's been one of the only good things to happen this year. It's been a whirlwind, man. Dude. And I'd say it has been for y'all, too.
It's, it's been a super big adjustment period. Like everybody else, we were under quarantine, working from home for 3 months, but at the arena we came back in June, 1st of June. So we've been back in action. Obviously, we're not able to have big shows, a whole lot of people, but we are able to have smaller catering events, while staying within, all the social distancing guidelines and stuff like that.
But you were telling me before we hopped on air here, like, a lot of the staff still isn't back yet. So is it just you doing everything?
Food and beverage, yeah. I mean, I have some people that come in and help serve.
Okay, I get it.
And set up events. Shout out to all those guys. But as far as bringing in my core staff, the guys that help me in the kitchen and cook with me, no, we haven't brought them back yet. So it's just me. But, we do the events that we're doing right now are more along like 30, 40, 50 people.
Yeah, I was about to say they're not 200
No, it's
people,
not too bad. Yeah, it's not too bad. Or we're not, worried about doing concessions at the moment for 6,000 people for a sold-out concert. So, it's a little bit more manageable. But listen, man, I'm pretty self-contained. I like being on my own in my own little area working, but I miss my guys right now for sure.
Yeah,
shout out real quick to Justin Colvin and Stephen Cottle. Those guys, great cooks. They've worked with me for about close to 2 years now. And yeah, good dudes, man.
Oh, yeah, for the people that don't know, you're the executive chef at the Appalachian Wireless Arena. I don't think we ever mentioned that.
We didn't get into that yet. Yeah.
But, dude, hey, man, ever since a lot of changes have been made there to the Appalachian Wireless Arena, but it seems like ever since you and your team came in, man, the food has just been out of this world, especially those pizza pockets.
Yeah, pizza puffs.
Man, those pizza puffs are the bomb, dude.
I mean, just you talk about like during the 15th region, I mean, we went through so many of those things, and pizzas. Me and my guys didn't take a breath. We made pizzas. We had all the high school students there, which was, I think, right? Wasn't that the last big event?
Yeah, that
was
they had all the high
15th region
schools.
Tournament. Man, me and my guys made pizzas around the clock, dude. It was nonstop.
So are y'all like making these from scratch?
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
That's
we try to
cool.
make everything from scratch within reason. I mean, some things, of course, we order in. But especially on the catering side of the business, not necessarily concessions, we try to go as much from scratch as possible, if not 100%. So,
And you can tell, man, because this concession food, I've never had concession food that good in my entire life.
well, and if you've been to any of these ballparks or arenas away from here, some of the concession food they have is outrageous. Like, it's great. Like, it's next level. Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati has 15 different places that you can get different food at, and all of the concession food's really over the top. And we wanted to kind of try to bring that to Pikeville while still keeping it
affordable.
Yeah, affordable. Yeah. We don't want you to have to spend, $30 at the concession stand. So.
That's another thing that I like about what y'all done too. Not only did the food get better, but the prices went lower. And how were y'all able to pull that off?
Well, when you do everything from the ground up, you're able to do it a little more affordably.
Yeah.
So if you're ordering, if you're getting in a pre-cooked or a pre-packaged product, that's generally more expensive.
Yeah.
Than if you make it there on site yourself. So,
but the food is just so much better.
I appreciate that, man. We work hard on it. We really do. It's a tough business. It's a lot of work, but we love what we do down there.
So let's say, like, just for a regular concert, how long does it take y'all to get all the food ready? Not just for concession stands, but for the artist and their crew too. Is it like usually a full days or like the day of?
It's several days. So generally when we have a concert, let's say we have with Tyler Childers, for instance, we have 3 bands on the bill. We do band catering too. So we'll set up an area upstairs in our ballrooms where we feed all the bands and crews.
Yeah.
So we do food just for them. We do food for the concession stands, and then, they send ahead before they even get there their rider. Are you familiar with the rider?
No.
That's what you used to hear, like horror stories about bands like wanting all green M&Ms.
Oh, yeah.
That's the rider. So basically just stocking their bus. These venues stock their bus for them.
That's smart.
And do all the grocery shopping for them.
That's smart.
So, it's usually about a week's process of getting all of the stuff together, making sure we've got everything that they need, they require on their bus daily, breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the band and the road crew. We usually also feed the local crew. Wow. And then all the concessions. So, depending on how big the show is, it's usually at least 5 days.
Yeah, I don't think the people realize how hard y'all work behind the scene whenever it comes to these shows. I think I was talking to you. Didn't you say you get in there at 5 a.m.?
Some days. Yeah, I mean, it really depends. If we have breakfast on a concert day for a band and a road crew, it's going to require being there, 5 a.m. to have breakfast ready by 7.
But do you have to be there until like the show is over?
Yeah, it's long days. But that's why I tell people all the time, like with hospitality industry in general, if you don't love it, man, you're going to get burnt out quick.
Yeah,
because there are long days. You're not punching the clock. It's not 9 to 5. You're not like, well, it's 5 o'clock, time to go home. You go whenever you're done.
Wow.
So,
man.
but then, you've got good and bad. You've got times where things are through the roof. You're nonstop busy. You're working 14, 15-hour days. And then you've got other times where, it's not as busy.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
But I can't complain because, listen, the Appalachian Wireless Arena is a phenomenal place to work. I love it there. I love the staff. I mean,
yeah, that's what I was about to say, man. It seems like y'all have such a good time up there. And as long as you love what you do, and especially where you do it, it's not work. It's just having fun. You and Josh and Larry, whenever y'all do those Facebook Lives and everything, man, it just looks like y'all are having such a good time.
Yeah, there's a lot to be said for work environment. You know? Paul Bowles, who's the general manager, and Larry Miller, who's the assistant general manager, I think have done just a phenomenal job of putting together a team that there's a general teamwork mindset, I think, at the arena. You don't hear a lot of, well, that's not my job. Everybody's willing to help, in any way that they can. And yeah, we have a great time even when we're busy. You know, we have fun doing what we do.
So why did Josh get pied the other day? What was that about?
So yeah, I was okay. I wasn't really up on this either until the day before, but there was I think it was a hashtag pie face mask challenge.
See, I'm not. I've taken a big break from social media, man.
yeah.
So I don't know.
So
I don't know what that is.
The first person that I saw do it was the director of the Pike County Health Department.
Okay.
And it was basically just saying if you send in X amount, if they get X amount of selfies of people wearing their face mask, this person will take a pie to the face.
Okay, that's
now,
cool.
You know Josh Kessler.
Yeah.
He's going to jump at something like that.
Oh, yeah,
But
that's up his
figured
alley.
Instead of, just hitting him in the face with one pie, we just put him in front of a firing squad and just start lobbing pies at him. So, yeah, that's where that came from.
Dude, he's probably still digging that stuff out of his ears, man.
Yeah, I felt bad. I'm not going to lie. I did feel bad about it because I know it went.
Well, Larry seemed like easy about it. He just
Yeah.
kind of like pushed it in his face a little bit. You, man, it's like you had cymbals and he just boom.
Listen, the slow-mo amplified it. I was very gentle with him, but there's no way to keep. There was a nice layer of like chocolate pudding on the bottom too that I hid from him, so it looked like just cream pies with whipped cream, but there was actually like a layer of chocolate pudding at the bottom. And I tried to be super subtle, but it definitely went in his ear. I did feel bad about that, and I apologize to him. Sorry, Josh.
But that is cool though, man, that like y'all are being able to do stuff like that. Yeah, man, whenever you're working with fun people, that makes so much. Like here, man, I love my job. I work with great people. Shout out to Alex, Wayne, Trish, all of them. They're incredible.
I've worked with Alex and Wayne and some of these other guys and seen you guys out in the field doing these ball games and stuff. And yeah, you get kind of the similar vibes from those people. It's just a spirit of like teamwork. Everybody gets along, obviously, it's not always sunshine, rainbows and all that stuff, but generally speaking, everybody gets along and works well together. And that's, as somebody who's done I've worked in a lot of different areas of the hospitality industry over the years. I can definitely tell you that, work environment, man, and enjoying the people you work with, it just goes so far in your day-to-day life to make it that much better.
I'm so jealous about Larry getting that motorcycle.
Oh, dude, we all thought we were going to win that thing too.
It looks so beautiful.
It's
like, oh man, for the people that don't know, Larry Miller, he won the motorcycle from Hillbilly Christmas in July.
That's right.
Dude, that thing looks sick.
Yeah, and me I'm not a motorcycle guy. Like, I mean, they're cool. I've never really considered.
I don't know what kind of motorcycle it is. I just know it looks cool.
It's a Harley.
That's it. Yeah. Well, yeah, I know it's a Harley. Like, I just
I don't know anything
RX
else.
10, 12. No. I don't know.
I have no idea.
I just know what's cool.
The paint job was what made me, want it. So when I saw them advertising it, I don't know, a few months ago, it was a $10 buy-in. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. And she had mentioned, that they didn't have a ton of entries this year because the Christmas in July was obviously, like everything else, was affected by COVID. Yeah. So I never win stuff like that. I never win the lottery.
Same, dude.
No, but I don't do it that often. I felt, for whatever reason, it was complete false hope. I felt great about this. I was like, I'm going to win this thing. And then my boss ends up winning it. But it's a phenomenal looking motorcycle.
Yeah, man, that dual exhaust. Yeah. Oh, the exhaust pipes on it alone.
Yeah. And that like old retro, like 70s paint job that it has. I don't know. There's something that super cool bike.
Yeah, and a big shout out to Shriners too, man, for doing cool stuff like that. They've done it. I don't know when they started, but heck, ever since I've been going to Hillbilly Days, I've always seen the motorcycle sitting there, and it's always $10 to enter to win.
Yeah, and they were, not having Hillbilly Days this year was just such a hit to them. Such a hit to the Shriners Hospital. So credit to them for. Persevering, still going on, still trying to raise money whatever way they could. And this is a really cool thing. I mean, winning a motorcycle. I mean, that's really, really cool. And it's super cool when you see somebody that is a great person win something like that. Like Larry is fantastic and he's been enjoying it. I can attest. He has rode that thing to work every single day since he won.
Dude, even on days like today when it's raining, I'm wearing a poncho. I'm still
sure.
riding that thing.
Gas. Think about gas. Yeah. How much gas you're going to save on that.
I know. Well, dude, motorcycles in general, that's why I want one so bad, but my wife, she's not having it at all.
And what it's the same for me. I'm not married, but like my family, you know, I was generally a pretty reckless human being in my early 20s. But my family, if I were to get a motorcycle, I'd never hear the end of it.
Yeah. Well, I just know myself, and I know that. See, I'm clumsy, dude. I'll trip over air.
Yep.
I can't trust myself going 90 miles an hour on a motorcycle down US 23.
Nope.
And you hear those horror stories too, man, of people whenever they cut their grass, they just don't get the sheddings out of the road, and you have to look out for stuff like
Seems
that.
like a
Some
new
of the
thing.
potholes.
Like you didn't used to hear that a lot.
Yeah. Well,
I guess people are more posting it on social media now, but I would have never thought that made the road like ice, but apparently it does.
Yeah, and I see it everywhere I go, man. People just don't. And it's, if you're not in that world, it's easy to not think about that. Like you said, I didn't think about that until just a few years ago, until I started watching Sons of Anarchy. Yeah, it's a good show, by the way.
No, that's another one. Listen, man, if anything that the pandemic has allowed me to do, which I don't know that this counts as a positive, is catch up on shows that I felt like I was the only person in the world that hadn't seen them. Game of Thrones. I'd never seen an episode of it.
I still haven't
Really?
seen it. Is it? I mean, that's nerdy stuff for people who don't like nerdy stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
hypocritical.
100%. I agree with you. I'd never even entertained the idea of watching it. I watched it. I liked it. I wouldn't say that I loved it.
Yeah.
To me, I wouldn't. If you not seeing any of it, I wouldn't say you've got to go watch Game of Thrones.
There's not many TV shows that get me that way. There's only like 3 of them that I know of: Breaking Bad, The Office, and Sons of Anarchy. Those 3, man, I recommend to everybody.
Yeah.
They're fantastic.
I'm with you on The Office.
That's one of the best shows ever made.
Great.
People don't understand.
No,
you got to get past that first.
Yeah.
The first few, even the second episode, man. I forget what it's called. When they all, it's the race episode when they all have the Post-it notes.
Yeah. And I tell
That's
people,
one of my favorite episodes of all time.
That's a great episode. But the first season is funny. But compared to seasons 2 through 6?
Yeah.
7 maybe?
I think
What's
7's
Michael's last season?
I think it's 7.
Okay.
Because I think 8 and 9 they done without.
I mean, those are just like home runs.
Oh,
Every episode is hilarious.
Even the later episodes, though, they had some good ones.
Yeah.
Robert California is one of my favorite characters of all time.
One of the guys that I work with at the arena, that's his big argument. His favorite character from The Office is Robert California.
I don't know about favorite, but he
loves Robert California, and he
definitely
even
top 5.
swayed me because I wasn't super into those seasons. And I went back and watched them, gave them a second and a third chance, and now I really like them. Robert California is hilarious, but there's just, for me, it was like Michael Scott was just so.
Yeah, dude, there's no replacing.
Yeah,
Michael.
I mean, he was the best. He was the best.
It just makes me so many spoiler alerts here. By the way, the show has been out since
it's been out forever.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, then tough luck. We're going to spoil it for you. But whenever they bring him back right there at the end, he only has like 3 lines. I never understood that.
No,
him and NBC apparently had this thing, creative differences. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I wish Michael would have had so much more in that last episode, and that just never made any sense to me. I did not like Andy as boss. I love Andy as a character, but he's not boss.
I liked Andy when he first got introduced into the series, and for the next couple of until he, I guess, became the boss.
He just became a totally different person.
What about what was Will Ferrell's character's name?
Oh, God.
Jeremy, D'Angelo Jeremetrius Vickers.
Dude, how do you now? You might have me there, man.
I told you.
I know D'Angelo, but I didn't know
Broken Throne
name.
Yeah, Broken Throne Office Trivia Champion. I was part of a team, so it wasn't just me, but me and some of my old coworkers from bank, we went over there and just cleaned up.
That's wild.
People
dude.
accused us of cheating. We were so good.
Man,
But I think you could hang. I have no doubt.
Oh yeah, man, dude. I've watched it at least 5 times through.
Yeah.
When did they say D'Angelo's full name?
What is he talking about? He says it.
Dude, I hated Will Ferrell's
Jeremetrius. What a great middle name, too.
Jeremetrius.
D'Angelo Jeremetrius Vickers.
One of the best parts about him is I forget who's talking to him, and they're like, "Do you have a second?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I've got tons of free time. This job is a joke."
Yeah, I mean,
that's like the funniest line he has.
I'll give you another one if you haven't watched it. I feel like it's pretty slept on, even though it's won tons of awards. It's Veep. Have you seen Veep?
On
What's HBO.
That?
It's the one with Julia Louis-Dreyfus from Seinfeld.
Dude, I only watched Sopranos on HBO.
Okay.
That's it.
You need to watch Veep. I think you would really like it.
I've never heard of it.
Hilarious, dude. It's over now. The series is over.
Yeah.
So I think there's 7 seasons. There's no huge names other than Julia Louis-Dreyfus, which a lot of people know from Seinfeld. She was Elaine in Seinfeld.
Yeah.
But there's a huge ensemble cast, and it's one of those shows that's like joke after joke after joke. I mean, it's just rapid fire. It's hilarious. It's a great show. Yeah, it's a great show.
I've watched so many, dude. I've watched The Office all the way through.
Oh, yeah.
I finished Breaking Bad, Ozarks.
I've heard that. I haven't watched it.
Dude,
Haven't
you'll
watched
like it. That's another one. I forgot about Ozark.
How many times would you say you've seen The Office all the way through?
5, at least.
Yeah.
I'm confident with that number.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more, but I know of at least 5.
Yeah, probably all the way through.
Dude, right when the first time I finished it, I just started right back over because
yeah.
I didn't know what else to watch. I'm like, what else?
Yeah, and for
there was
me,
just nothing that good.
For the longest time, like if I just wanted to throw something on, just have it in the background. It was always The Office.
That's the same, dude. Whenever like we're eating dinner or something like that, and like we just it's something simple, we're going to sit on the couch and watch TV. Straight to The Office. It's like 15, 20 minutes an episode. And you can, once you went all the way through, you can just start wherever and you're good. We'll play Russian roulette and just go through all the episodes and click one.
And it's one of those too, like the more you watch it, you'll pick up jokes that or things that you didn't pick up the first couple of times around. I mean, we have an ongoing debate with one of the girls at work. She's a big Friends fan. She thinks Friends is better than The Office. Like, don't even bring that to me. I mean, I'm not going to entertain the idea that Friends. I'm not a Friends guy. I don't like Friends.
I watched it. I gave it a chance.
Yeah,
there was everybody making that argument. I'm like, okay, I'll watch it. I'll see. It's funny, but definitely not there.
It's not The Office.
No.
The Office is, in 100 years, The Office will still be funny.
Not only is The Office funny, but it's also so relatable.
Yeah.
See, like, man, I went through some stuff in life that I seen like other members on that show going through.
Yeah.
And just like, dude, whenever you find a good show like that, man, it can help you through some dark times, dude.
For sure. And you feel connections with those characters, even though it's a comedy series. Like, it's very, it's got a lot of heart to it.
I can't tell you how many times I cried during that show. I don't care to admit it. I cried.
I don't cry a ton with stuff like that, but when Michael came back for Dwight's wedding, for sure almost lost it.
When he left.
When he left.
Oh,
but that episode in general, that one tugged. When he leaves, that one tugs at the heartstrings.
What was the song? 9 Million.
Oh,
yeah, man. Oh,
they all sing that.
Will Ferrell ruined it.
Yeah,
it was perfect. It was so perfect.
Yeah,
and apparently, like from what I don't know if this is true. I seen this on Facebook, so everything on the internet's true.
Right.
But apparently, Steve Carell. Steve Carell didn't know that they were going to do that song. So apparently, like his reaction when he's tearing up, that's real. All of that's real. He didn't know that. Like when he just walks in, somebody told him just to come in, and they filmed it.
Well, and if you've seen Steve Carell and other things, I mean, he's a great actor.
Yeah, dude.
The dude is a legitimately great actor.
Yeah.
So that doesn't really surprise me all that much, but that one was definitely one of the episodes that just tugs at the heartstrings. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Dude. Oh yeah, even like my wife. See, like, I had to talk her into watching it. She wasn't even like that big of a fan at first, but after a while, she just got so caught up into it. And yeah, everything that I cried on the first time, she was bawling on. And then when Jim and Pam get married and they finally, it's, man, there's a lot of stuff in there, dude.
If you get people, I don't know why, maybe they're skeptical for the same reasons I was skeptical to watch Game of Thrones, but usually if you get somebody watching The Office, they fall in love with it.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way not to love it.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to give it time. Like, that first season is not the best. There's some good ones, but yeah, you get through that, man, you're golden.
Agreed. I heard they were pulling it from Netflix. Did that ever happen?
It's supposed to happen. Is it this year or
NBC's
next?
getting a streaming service of their own?
That's not going to last. Who cares about NBC that much?
I mean, I wouldn't buy it.
No, who's going to? Who's going to? That's the. Just stick with the ones that you got. I know everybody's trying to get their own ones, but stick with the big ones. It's going to get to a point where you can't afford all of that.
It's going to become more expensive than every. Like if you have to if every individual network has its own streaming service, is going to become unaffordable. For sure.
Nobody can do it. It's just going to do a revolution and go right back to the old Firebox or the ones that you get everything on it. That's not going to work. They can try it, but it ain't going to work.
I mean, it's just so nice and convenient having everything right there under one, like Netflix.
Dude. Yeah, man, that's all I've done during quarantine. What do you do during quarantine? What's your hobbies?
Well, I mean, what kind of hobbies could you possibly have when you can't leave the house? I mean, I did a lot of that. I did a lot of Tiger King.
You think Carol done it?
I mean, how can you not?
100%.
I mean, I don't want to rehash it too much because I realize at this point Tiger King is, but she had something to do with it.
Yeah, dude. If she didn't pull the trigger, whatever happened to him, she knows something.
She's arguably the scariest character. She's the scariest person on that show. Yeah. Like anybody that's that, like,
hey, all you cool cats and kittens.
I mean, there's just something so creepy about that.
Yeah, dude.
Her tone, the tone of her voice, even. You could literally have a spin-off documentary of every person on that series.
You think they're going to do like a part 2 or anything like that?
I mean, I think at this point, why not? You got to capitalize on that stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, like at least a movie. Maybe not a whole series, but just one final movie whenever Joe gets out of prison and all that.
Wasn't there speculation that Nicolas Cage was going to play him?
I seen that. Whatever happened to that?
I don't know.
I don't. Yeah. You see where Dave Franco's going to play Vanilla Ice? That's wild.
What?
I didn't. I would have never. I don't know. I mean, maybe. I can kind of see it.
Is there that much interest in Vanilla Ice, though?
For real? Yeah, he's great. Well, he's not the greatest. He's good. I'll say that.
I mean, I guess he's lived an interesting life. We can probably.
I can't name another song other than Ice Ice Baby.
No.
I know To the Extreme was his first album, and I only know that because of like one of those VH1 behind the music things that I watched. And I can't tell you anything else besides that.
You know what I watched the other night that might be one of the most underrated movies is That's My Boy.
I haven't seen it. Dude, I haven't seen
Vanilla Ice is in that, but
it isn't. No, that's James Franco, right? Wait,
no, That's My Boy is
that's
Adam Sandler and Andy Samberg.
Okay, Andy Samberg. I was thinking about that one movie with him and that guy off of Breaking Bad.
Yeah, but That's My Boy. You got to watch it.
I've seen like little clips on Facebook. It looks funny, man.
I think it's hilarious. It's on, I think Stars, one of the streaming services has it, but Vanilla Ice in that movie says something to the effect of, where he says, you must have all kinds of money because of Ice Ice Baby. And he said, Queen, every time that song gets played, Queen gets 50% and Suge Knight gets 60%. When that thing gets played, I owe money.
And he's probably true too, man. Is Suge still in prison?
I don't know. What's up with Suge?
You haven't heard from that dude in a while. Is he dead?
Yeah. Hopefully. Somebody needs to do a wellness check on Suge.
I don't think he's.
No, probably not.
I don't think anybody
You're
cares.
Probably right, yeah. But you don't hear from Suge much these days.
No, he's kind of went quiet.
Yeah, he's gone now.
Well, and we're living in a day and age too, man, where there's just information being thrown at you so fast and there's so much to keep up with.
Yeah.
It's impossible. I was talking to my brother the other day, and he didn't know OJ was out of prison.
Yeah, that's a
Do you
I
follow him on Twitter?
no, but I've heard that he's unbelievable. He's an unbelievable follow.
If you watch the comments,
Yeah.
people are relentless, dude.
Twitter's brutal, man.
Yes,
Twitter's brutal.
Out of every social media network, Twitter, yeah, man. I don't.
Wild,
It's just a
Wild
bunch of
West.
savages.
Yeah.
Facebook, you got family and friends, and you
Yeah.
can keep up with everybody. But no, dude, Twitter is the whole different world.
It can get dark on Twitter, but it can also be really, really entertaining. You can get lost in Twitter comments in particular on people like you said, like OJ, which
If anybody hasn't followed OJ on Twitter, do it. Not just because it's funny, probably just because for your own safety.
yeah, 100%. Just do it. You don't want OJ upset with you. That's
what do you
clear.
think about that new Bronco? Speaking about OJ.
I mean, I was a fan of like the old school Broncos,
Yeah,
like the
dude.
80s and early 90s models Broncos. These are spectacular.
They look so much like the Jeep. I don't know what type of Jeep
Yeah, I
it
guess
is.
that's true.
Yeah, but they still look good, man. But I'm more of a fan of the old school ones.
Yeah, like the was it the Bronco 2 that kind of had the back part of it was like a convertible, like you could take the roof off the back part of it.
I'm pretty sure that's right.
I love those. I mean, but I don't know, man. I guess they look good. People lost their minds over it on the internet though when the pictures first came out.
It looks good, man. They even brought back the old Volkswagen Beetle bus.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
That looks...
The bus?
Yeah, the bus,
Wow.
dude. That looks sick, too.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, it's supposed to be coming out next year, something like that. I don't know.
Why not? We're rerunning everything.
Yeah, well, everything's being rebooted, dude.
Yeah, you got to reboot. You got to reboot the Bronco. I had no idea. That's big. I bet the Volkswagen bus will be a big seller.
Man, I would love to have that thing. Just the nostalgia aspect of it, too. But, like, on the inside, too, man, apparently, like, the seats are supposed to turn. Like, you have, like, a little table in the back.
Really?
Yeah, man, it's wild. But, yeah, dude, they're rebooting everything. Have you watched the new Unsolved Mysteries?
Yes, I have watched an episode. I miss Robert, what's his name? Stack? Pack?
Yeah.
Stack? That dude's
don't
voice,
know.
man.
Dude, he's creepy.
I mean, kind of made the old show, and you know, I don't want to date myself too much, but I do remember watching Unsolved Mysteries when I was a very young kid, and it used to creep me out back then.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Robert Stack. Yeah, dude,
Robert
one
Stack,
of the
yeah.
creepiest people on planet Earth. But he made that show.
Yeah,
what
that
it
voice. Who
was.
hosts it now?
Nobody.
Okay,
Well,
no,
I
it's
don't. I don't
It's not
think
like
anybody.
yeah,
Yeah, it's just like it shows.
voiceover.
Yeah, whoever had the weird encounter or whatever, that's the one doing all the talking, basically. But it's good.
Yeah, I haven't gotten super into it. Just bits and pieces of the first episode. I was just the disappointment of not. Robert Stack's probably dead though, right?
I think so. He has to be.
I mean,
right?
he was
Yep,
old.
2003.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whoa, he's been dead for a long
Yeah,
time.
I did not know that. He was
Robert
in the
Stack.
Untouchables. I didn't know that.
What?
Born in 1919.
Wait a second, go back. Robert Stack was in the Untouchables.
That's what he says. Oh, that's the TV
Oh,
series.
okay.
The 1959 TV series. That dude was. Oh, I didn't know Untouchables was a remake. Huh. I don't know, man.
It was a TV show.
Apparently so.
Wow.
1959 TV series, The Untouchables. Yeah, and
Huh.
it's about Al Capone and everything. That was a good movie.
Great movie.
With Sean Connery.
Yeah.
Sean Connery, the guy that talks
And
like this.
listen, I'm a big Kevin Costner guy.
Yeah,
I
dude,
like
Kevin.
Costner.
Kevin was young in that.
Yeah.
That was one of his
That was
first-
80s, right?
Something
Untouchables?
like that, yeah.
Yeah, that's a great movie, man.
You know a movie that how you were talking about that one that was an old gem. One of the old gems that I uncovered was Walk Hard.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's an all-timer.
Man, me and Heather watched it the other night just because we were trying to find something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I haven't watched in years. I'm like, yeah, I remember this being good. And I'm like, man, this is great.
That is an all-timer. Dewey Cox. I mean, there's just so many, a lot of quotable lines in Walk Hard.
And too, if you start like paying attention to like the actual singers that are in it and stuff, like man, the Temptations were in there. Jack White,
Yeah.
he played Elvis Presley. There's like a bunch of actual great musicians.
And maybe
in there.
maybe the only movie Pam Beesly has ever been in from The Office.
Yep,
Or
yep.
Jenna Fisher, right?
Yep.
Isn't that her name?
Yep.
Have you seen her in anything else, movie-wise?
Oh, what was that one movie with Will Ferrell and Christopher Walken when they're on Blades of Glory?
Yeah, okay. Blades of Glory. Yeah,
think
that's
she's
right.
in that.
She is in that.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
But other than that, I don't think so.
Walk Hard. Unbelievably good movie. Ridiculous. The scene with the Beatles in India. So good, man. That's such a good movie. Judd Apatow, I think, wrote that.
I wonder if I'll still give up when it's 19.
Yeah, yeah. It's so good, man.
But there's so many great actors and musicians. I mean, like just one after the other.
Yeah.
Jack Black, don't he play? Is he
one of the Beatles? He's one of the Beatles.
I know Paul Rudd is John Lennon,
right?
And I think Jack Black may play Paul.
Yeah.
And then what's his name?
Jason Schwartzman's one of them, right?
Is that the guy's name? Is that the skinny dude? The one that was George Harrison?
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Walk Hard is an absolute classic movie. I love that movie. I've seen it a million times.
You're only 6 years old. You don't know anything about no blues. I do everything.
When he stands in for the whatever the musician's name is in the club,
which is Craig
Robinson. Yeah, I mean, it's an absolutely hysterical movie.
Even the guy that plays Andy, I forget his name.
Oh yeah, he's in that.
Yeah, I think that movie came out when The Office was like in its prime because there was so many people from that show in that movie.
Yeah, and you would think somebody with the writers or producers or something had to be connected because, like I said, there's just so many people from The Office that are in that movie.
Yeah, but it was such a great movie. Yeah, and I want to get the soundtrack, man. The last song, "It's a Beautiful Ride."
That's a good song.
It's a good song.
Why am I blanking on this? What is the guy's name that plays Dewey Cox?
John C. Reilly.
John C. Reilly can sing.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah. Was that Pam?
I don't know.
Was that her singing?
Didn't
I don't
sound
know.
like her.
It didn't.
If it was her, then credit to her. She's a great singer, but it didn't sound like her.
No, I paid real close attention, but that was definitely John. You can tell.
Yeah, for sure.
That's for sure him.
Yeah, he did a great job in that movie, and it's absolutely hysterical. I mean, it's a classic movie in my book.
Yeah, such a good movie.
And speaking of the Temptations, can we talk for a second about the Smokey Robinson gangbanging video?
I forgot about that. We'll have to have that as the intro.
Smokey Robinson.
What happened?
I mean, he's written some of the greatest songs of all time. Wrote some of the biggest hits the Temptations ever had.
Yeah, he was a big writer in Motown. Some of the greatest hits that came out of Motown might have been sung by somebody else, but a lot of the time was written by Smokey.
Wrote by Smokey. Smokey is now fell hard gangbanging. Check it out. YouTube.
Is that what the name of the song is?
Gangbanging. Yeah.
Gangbanging.
Yeah, drinking that wine, staying up late, disobeying your mother, man. I mean, it's good advice when you really break it down.
Why didn't anybody stop him?
I don't know, man. Somebody's guiding Smokey. Smokey's like 100 years old.
He looked dead already in that one video. I think that he's just...
When was Motown founded? In the 50s?
Yeah.
I mean, Smokey was there for that, dude. He's still out here making videos.
Well, let's guess. How would you going to say Smokey Robinson is?
He's got to be... the over-under is 80. I'm going to say he's 82, at
82?
least.
I'm going to say 88.
Yeah, he's got to be up there.
He has to be. God, the man looks like a wax figure.
Yeah, he does.
He's born in 1940, so he's 80. So he's 80.
That's it.
Dude, what?
He was young in the Motown days then.
Yeah.
Did a lot. God. I thought I read how many songs does it, if you've got it pulled up,
man.
He's got to be responsible for thousands of songs.
Like how many #1 hits was because of Smokey Robinson?
Smokey,
not just because of not just him, everybody that he wrote for.
Yeah.
I'd have to look into that. But that dude, man, he kind of looks creepy.
He fell hard, man.
Looks like a vampire.
Yeah, he really does. He like you said, he looks like he belongs in Madame Tussauds right now. He looks like a wax figure. But
Botox.
I wouldn't say do yourself a favor, because if you watch this video, you will have it stuck in your head for at least a day. That song, it's so ridiculous, but it's very funny, and it's just tough.
He had good intentions.
He had good intentions. The message was there.
Yeah.
I don't know the execution, man, and whoever wrote his songwriting skills. I guess they
have really went down.
Yeah, they've gone way down, man. It's real corny.
Just like even the beat didn't even. It sounded generic.
Yeah,
it sounded
it
like
was
somebody.
awful.
Yeah, it sounded like a 13-year-old made it. It's just
Drinking that wine.
doing that crime,
So ridiculous.
doing that dough.
Yeah.
Ain't got no hoe.
He actually says staying up late. Like, that's part of your problem. You're
What about the
staying up
people
late.
on late night shifts?
Yeah.
You know,
It's like, damn, am I doing something wrong too? I'm out here working late at night. Smokey says I got to stop staying up late.
I had to quit my job now.
Man, it's just such an absurd thing. And I saw that somewhere on it. You know how you scroll through Instagram or Twitter or
Yeah.
whatever, and something will come up. I thought it was fake when I first saw it, and then I went on YouTube and looked it up. And Smokey is like pumping it.
That's his
He's
new hit
behind
song.
it.
People go check it out. Do yourself a favor.
Yeah,
There's
it's-
been so much, the memes and the internet has just went crazy during all of this,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, it's well, like you said, with taking a break from social media, I think that is good for your mental health at this point, just because there's so much like false information and just nonsense out
Yeah.
there. But there's some really, really entertaining and funny stuff out there too. So.
Yeah, but see, like it's probably the pages I follow too, man. Because
For sure.
like I don't like watch the news. I sometimes watch the news on TV, but I'll just
Yeah,
like
it's
the pages on
tough.
Facebook and keep up with it there. Maybe I just need to get off of those or something. What I do now is I stay off social media like throughout the day, but I'll get on in the mornings
Yep.
and before I go to bed and just
Same.
check how the world is and if it's ended yet.
What's your favorite social media site at this point?
You probably Unilad.
Really?
They are. Do you know Unilad?
I mean, I know the organization.
The Lad Bible.
Oh, okay, yes,
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
the Lad Bible.
Yeah, that's Unilad is like it's like their umbrella.
Okay.
Like everything falls into that. But yeah,
Yeah.
Lad Bible, man, they have had some of the craziest stories on that page. It is for the people that don't know, I think it's British. They're definitely England.
Yeah.
But English. But yeah, you have to get past reading about euros and stuff like that. But some of the funniest news stories you'll ever read in your entire life.
Yeah, I'm old school too with it, man. I like the Onion still.
Yeah, man.
It's getting a little corny, but I still, I get a chuckle out of the Onion here and there still.
Have you checked out the Hard Times?
No,
They're just like the Onion, but like they're in their prime.
okay.
So like it's kind of like old school Onion.
Hard Times.
The Hard Times.
The Hard Times?
And to anybody out there looking it up, 18 years and older, it is just like the Onion. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean that's like you said, man. Social media.
No.
With
But
everybody.
you got to keep up, especially with how crazy the world's getting.
Yeah.
See, I've been going down these Elon Musk rabbit holes here lately.
Dude.
What is up with that guy?
How about Kanye? What is
For
up
real.
with that dude?
Dude,
What
he
happened?
is off the rails.
What happened?
And man, I feel sorry for him too, because like I'm a huge Kanye fan.
Dude,
I have every album the man has made, besides his
You like
recent
old
ones.
Kanye better though? Maybe I'm just I'm trying really hard not to evolve into like the old music guy where I'm like all this new stuff sucks and everything from the 90s and early 2000s is the only good acceptable hip hop. But
It's getting to that point.
I don't know, man.
Every
wanna be
once
that
in a
guy.
while, man, every once in a while we'll get some good stuff. Like right now, when it comes to rap, I'll listen to J. Cole,
Yeah.
Kanye, and there's a few others, man. But you really gotta thin
gotta
out
dig.
the herd, yeah. Like when it comes, see, me and you were raised on a different kind of hip hop. Nowadays, kids are being raised on what you're listening to now with these mumble rap and the trap rappers. Everybody has Lil in
Yeah,
front of their name.
And Young, what's up with that? Young.
Back in
Young
the day, it was
Lil.
Lil Wayne and Young Jeezy.
Yeah,
That was
that's it.
We had Young Jock.
There's really an oversaturation of Lil.
Yeah, man. And like I don't know like which ones are dead or not, and it's hard to keep up with.
Yeah, and it's
You
like I
don't-
said, I'm trying really hard not to be the new stuff sucks and the old stuff is the only thing it's acceptable. But it almost seems like things have gotten away from like that lyrical content that was like so good in the 90s
Yeah.
with hip hop. You know,
Yeah, well, it was an art form
Yeah.
back then. Man, I was a huge hip hop head.
me too,
And
still am to a degree. I mean,
Yeah.
I like to think my musical horizons have broadened quite a bit, especially in the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
I listen to a lot of stuff that I didn't listen to when when I was younger. I just think you become more accepting of if it sounds good. I don't care about genre so much.
Yeah.
If it sounds good, I like it. I like a lot of the stuff that you're playing on this show, the local stuff that you're playing. I got turned on to that when I moved, back here to be at Bank 253. I got turned on to a lot of music that I probably otherwise would have never listened to.
Dude, I mean, it is the local musicians around here.
Dude,
for the people that like folk and country and like classic rock, if you're tired of hearing what you're hearing whenever it comes to the new styles, listen to the local scene. Those are the ones that are, I mean, that's where Tyler Childers and Sturgill Simpson, all these people came from. If you like them, you're going to like the local scene because they don't sound the same, but they have that same mindset. Yeah. And people around here, that's what we were raised on, was musicianship. I mean, heck, my good buddy Brennan, he had a show last Saturday, and they have a group called Collective. If you listen to that, man, it sounds like an orchestra, like it's like cinematic music. It's unbelievable that something like that comes out of this area. And you have Nicholas Jamerson, Grayson Jenkins. There's a bunch of them, man, that I've been listening to.
I'll tell you, there's another band, speaking of guys that I work with, Technicolor Nightmare.
Yeah, dude.
Those are the guys that work with me.
I didn't know that.
Great musicians, also really good cooks.
Huh.
Yeah.
Did not know that. Hey,
Justin Colvin, the guitar player, Stephen Cottle, who's the lead singer and bass player, they both work with me down at the arena. Great band. It's really out of the ordinary of what you typically hear coming from Eastern Kentucky, but they're super good musicians, man. They're great guys, really good cooks too. Yeah, really good cooks.
See, like I'm a huge fan of the alternative rock back in the days. So I grew up in the skateboard era, so I like Blink 182 and Bowling for Soup. Yeah, but there's this one group around here called Mirrored Image.
Oh, they're great.
Yeah, man, it sounds just like that. That one song that used to be a rave here. That's one of my favorite songs of 2020. I listen to it all the time.
I'll tell you how I got turned on to them after the first, which is called Hoptoberfest now. Yeah. The first year that they did it at the Expo Center, or Appalachian Wireless Arena, it was called Taps and Caps, and we had an after party at Bank. Johnny Day and Johnny helped me book the music for that, and one of the bands that he brought was Mirrored Image. I mean, the kids didn't look like they were 16 years old. As a matter of fact, I couldn't have them in the bar past 11. Wow. Because they weren't of age. But they were phenomenal. Yeah, they were great.
Whenever it comes to like rock, for the people that like kind of like out there rock, like alternative, yeah, man, Technicolor Nightmare and Mirrored Image, not only like are they great bands, but also the names too.
Yeah,
they
great names.
Yeah, man, whenever it comes to band names, Mirrored Image, Technicolor Nightmare, that's two of the best band names you can get.
Yeah, they're fantastic, man. And like you said, there's just so much good local music in Eastern Kentucky. Coming out of Eastern Kentucky these days, I tell people all the time that one of the best live performers I've ever seen is David Prince. 100%, man. Yeah. I mean, I've seen that guy perform, with Luna and the Mountain Jets and Laid Back, and the dude puts on a fantastic show, and the musicianship that you see from this guy is just out of this world. I mean, he's mesmerizing to watch.
He don't even have to look at the guitar. I mean, it's just, man, it's so good.
He's super fun to watch, man.
But he's been doing it for 40 years now, And that's cool, too, his relationship with Tyler. Yeah. How he was his teacher back in school and all that. And I like how Tyler, too, still, like, will include him and Teresa in a lot of their stuff. Like the new Country Squire, if you look towards the end of it, when they're going through space on that rocket ship, a lot of the signs in that are actually local bands.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I just watched, man, there's so many like Easter eggs in that music video. It was so hard to catch
That's a great video. The animated one? Is that what? Dude, that's, I guess it hadn't been out long. I saw it last week. I don't know how long it's been out, but that's a great video, man. Yeah. They did a great job on that.
See, I grew up solely listening to classic rock and hip hop. Yeah. I was not a country fan.
Same.
But whenever I moved up here and I started like going out to places like Hillbilly Days when y'all had the local music there, or when I stopped by places like Bank or just anywhere to check out these local bands, man, it got me into it. I don't know why. Y'all hillbillies, man. Y'all are influences.
Well, I mean, listen, I was the same way. I was pretty stuck in, I wasn't stuck on one genre or whatever, but I grew up listening to, like mid to early late 90s, like punk and hip hop and stuff like that. So I never really gave much country folk type music a chance until I came back here and just saw the level of musicianship, the way that I mean, some of the best songs, some of these guys write just the best songs. I mean, the way that their performances are phenomenal. So yeah, but it exposed me to stuff that otherwise I probably wouldn't have been that big of a fan of, or probably would have just never given much of a chance to, you know. So
well, another thing that got me whenever it comes to people like Tyler and just the local music scene in general, I can relate to them. Yeah, like I mean, heck, Tyler talks about mining Pike County coal, you know, and it's just so cool to hear a big artist talking about places that you know about, and also the local scene too. They'll talk about little places here and there, just experiences that they've went through, and you can relate to it, especially if you grew up in this area.
Yeah, and I will say, you know, with the. Were you able to go to any of the New Year's?
I went to the 28th. It was my dad's birthday.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, I do remember seeing that on your Instagram feed, maybe. But I can say, you know, I didn't know any of those guys going into the shows on the New Year run, but working with them, they were fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just down to earth.
Well, it was so cool to see them cleaning up afterwards.
Yeah. And they were the same way, you know. One of my jobs at the arena is taking care of the headliner's green room. So keeping it stocked with drinks and whatever it is they request.
Yeah.
And
have you ever had like some off the wall, really weird request from somebody?
Man, no. No, nothing
just
crazy.
Only green M&Ms?
No, I haven't even had that. That's just one of the things that you like hear about, like, you know, rock bands in like the 70s or the 80s asking for crazy things on their riders. Tyler, you know, one of the things I think most people know that Tyler requires nude photos of B. Arthur.
The one from Golden Girls.
Yeah, Photoshopped nude photos of B. Arthur.
I was going to ask. I didn't know if she had any out there.
No, that's not B. That's what we used. We used I can't remember the lady's name. Betty Page. We used Betty Page's body, B. Arthur's face. B. Arthur's smoke show though on Betty Page's body.
Yeah, I would say
B. Arthur looking good.
But like so Tyler requested just like, is it just pictures or like
whatever? We did a full size. We did pictures and we did a full size cardboard cutout. Josh Kessler had a full size cardboard cutout made.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's just one of the things. I think, here's what I think it is. After I've done this for a little bit, here's what I think that's about. I don't think it's so much about asking for these crazy things. I think it's for the artist to see if the venue's paying attention to detail.
I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because why would, I mean, other than maybe if that just makes you feel at home. But I think it's more to do with, let's see if they're paying attention to detail here.
That is wild. Did you ever hear about his reaction or anything to whatever
Well, that's not just us. That's, you know, I've seen him at Manchester Music Hall and same thing there in his green room. I think that's just like standard part of his rider.
I wonder, like, so
topless. It says topless photo of B. Arthur.
Did you wait? Where'd you get the cardboard cutout? Did you make it or did you have it ordered?
We had it made.
Wait, like, did you make it yourself or you have like a company make it?
We made we put the Photoshop image together and then we had a company make it.
What do you say to that company?
We say, hey, I need a cardboard. Here's this naked picture of.
They didn't ask any questions.
No, I don't know. I mean, I didn't order it.
I would just like to be a part of that conversation to see how that goes.
Well, I'm not sure who made it. I'm assuming a local print place, but yeah. I mean, I don't know what that conversation was like, but yeah.
How I just man,
We've still got it. We still got it. Cardboard cutout.
what are you gonna do with it?
Just in storage. I've got a couple of the pictures just hanging in my office as like keepsakes, but it's just funny.
That's cool
It's
though,
just a
man.
funny thing.
And maybe that's the reason too, that maybe he's just trying to be funny, because he probably knows how hard everybody's working.
Yeah, I think it's just
Get the goof off a
breaking
little
breaking the 10 is just a funny thing, lighthearted thing to see. But no, I haven't had any like outlandish, crazy requests. I mean, every now and then there's like a food item that you can't find in Pikeville, so you have to order. But
Yeah.
no big deal.
So like, have you ever? Have you ever got to like meet any of them?
Oh, yeah.
Or anything?
Generally, I make contact with them or their tour manager upon arrival, just letting them know like, how my name's Wes, I'm taking care of the green room. If you need anything, let me know, kind of thing.
So with all these venues, who's one of the coolest people that you've had the pleasure of meeting?
Well, I've only been at Appalachian Wireless Arena for about a year and a half now. Tyler and his whole band, the entire band was fantastic. So I'll sit them aside because they were like A1.
I love how they're the food stamps too.
Yeah, they were A1. I mean, those guys were just fantastic. Zach Wild was actually great.
He seems like he would be a nice guy.
yeah.
I've watched interviews with him, and he just seems like a little teddy bear.
Zach Wild was fantastic. Travis Tritt, really nice guy. From my brief interaction.
Yeah.
Again, this isn't me like hanging out for days upon end with them.
I got what you're saying.
Interacting with them for a couple hours here and there a day, taking care of whatever it is they need pre and post show. So,
It's just cool though whenever you get to meet people like that and they're actually cool. Because man, I've had some really crappy interactions. I got to meet Wiz, and it was horrible.
Really?
I can listen to old Wiz before the interaction.
Wiz Khalifa?
Wiz Khalifa,
Really?
It was our senior trip, and they had this tour in Virginia Beach. And man, me and my friends, we cut yards all summer, saving up for it. We worked our butts off, and we got VIP, got front row, and got to meet people.
Yeah.
And dude, in my picture with Wiz, he's on his phone.
Really?
Yeah, he never got off his phone.
Yeah, I mean, you hate to see that. Luckily, though, I guess maybe I've just been lucky, or I haven't.
You're also the one feeding them,
right?
So don't
taking care of their alcohol needs, and
don't bite the hand that feeds you.
Yeah, but I've been lucky, and I haven't had any. I mean, I haven't had any bad interactions whatsoever, or none that jump right to the front of my mind when you ask me that. Most have been very easy to deal with, and
well, all the artists that y'all bring in there too are those types of people too. Like I love how y'all are having Rodney Carrington up there, man. It's going to be fun.
Should be cool, man. It's a social distancing event. Obviously, listen, man, you have to take it seriously. With all of the social distancing and really the sanitizing of all the seats and in the arena. I mean, our operations crew at the arena have been all over that, man. And I mean, they're really, really making sure that, we want to entertain people. We don't want to do any harm. So they've done a great job of staying out in front of that. But listen, we're hopeful that Rodney Carrington, you can buy tickets right now for the show. Yep. And it should be cool, man. I've never seen him before, but I hear he's great. So we'll see.
Dude, I've watched all of his specials. That guy is hilarious.
Yeah, I've heard. I don't know a ton of his stuff, but I've heard he's great.
Yeah, he's really good. And for anybody that wants a ticket, 18 years and older. Yeah. Rodney, dude, he's a little bit out there, but he's funny.
Yeah.
Man, I was looking forward to so many shows. Steve Miller and Poison and... Man,
hopefully, knock on wood, Poison will happen at some point. I don't want to, come in here and I'm the chef at the arena. I don't book the shows, so I don't want to speak out of turn too much. But we're hopeful that will happen again. Not obviously on the date that it was supposed to happen, but down the road.
So I got some questions for you about your career.
Okay,
what's the difference between is there a difference between a chef and a cook?
I mean, in my mind, yeah.
What would be the difference?
The way that I look at it is I don't call myself a doctor if I can go into my bathroom and put a Band-Aid on a cut. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. I couldn't get that analogy.
But here's what it really comes down to in my mind is, you know, and there's nothing wrong with being a cook. I was a cook for many years. I guess earning the title, a lot of people in the hospitality industry, especially people who have earned the title as chef, away from here, they take it seriously.
Yeah. So wait, is the chef like the boss? Like you can't have more than one chef in the kitchen, or are you all
generally
chefs?
what you have, and the structure will be different from place to place, but generally you'll have executive chef.
So, but like, are you the only one with the title of chef?
Well, there's chef. There can be executive chef. There can be sous chef. So that's like the
What's that? Sushi?
No, it's SOUS. So it's a French term, and that's like second in command. That's like right under the chef.
Whoa.
So Justin Colvin is technically my sous chef at Appalachian Wireless Arena.
I didn't know it was that complex, man.
It can be. I don't get too caught up in, you know, all of the hierarchy of it. But to me, the difference really comes down to, you know, how much passion, how much work you put into mastering your craft like anything else. Anybody can really go out here and say, hey, I'm a chef. Hey, I'm a chef. But it's really an earned title and something that you don't acquire without a whole lot of work and loving what you do. I mean, this business is fast paced and it's long hours and it's not a lot of vacation time. And to be honest, whether you go to culinary school or not, it's not like you're going to go to culinary school and automatically somebody's going to give you an executive chef position. You're still going to have to start as a dishwasher or line cook or whatever. So, yeah, I think it really just comes down to passion, how much you want to, you know, work and earn your way through the hierarchy of the business and get to a point where you can, you know, have a sustainable lifestyle as far as finances go.
How long have you been doing it for?
I worked in restaurants when I was younger around here. You know, I started working I worked at Chirico's when I was like 17 years old.
Whoa.
Got fired after a couple of weeks. I was an idiot, you know.
Well, you're 17.
I was.
Yeah. Everybody's an idiot at 17.
But, you know, I was an idiot, but I thought I was the smartest. I thought I was Bobby Flay.
Every 17-year-old.
So I've been doing it straight now for about 13 years.
That's cool.
So, yeah, it's been about 13 years just full on. Like, this is made the choice, like, hey, this is what I want to do. Because like a lot of young people in their 20s, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Like, if you are 18 or 19 years old and have a clear understanding of what you want to do with your life, you're lucky. Because most people, I feel like, don't.
Oh, no. I don't think that anybody wants to admit that because everybody wants to at least seem like, oh, I know everything. When we don't.
Well,
especially when you're 17. So, like, the chef, though, becoming a chef, working in food in general, isn't what you wanted to do. It was just a job at the time.
Yeah, at first it was a job. You know, I'd been bouncing in and out of school, and it was something I always enjoyed doing, even when like I worked in like the, you know, lines at, you know, some of these local restaurants around here, and it's not glamorous at all. You know, there's nothing glamorous about it. It's hard work, it's hot, it's fast paced, it's nerve wracking. But for whatever reason, I thrived in that chaos.
Yeah. Well, it's I like fast-paced environments like that, man. We just had to be on your toes 24/7. You got to it's just like that,
nonstop
clockwork.
And
it's
you know,
fun.
It's fun, and what I tell people is, as much as it can, you know, take a toll on you, sometimes mentally and physically, it's very rewarding work.
Yeah.
When somebody really enjoys something that you created, it feels good. You know, it's nice when people, you're bringing, you know, however cliche or corny it may sound, you're bringing a little slice of or a few minutes of happiness into their life, and that's cool.
What's like the fanciest thing that you know to make right now?
Oh man, I mean, dude,
Probably stuff I can't even pronounce.
Yeah,
See,
I
I'm just used to eating y'all's pizza puffs, man.
Yeah.
You post
I like him. Hey, that's how I eat too. Listen, I can go.
Yeah, like
crazy.
how do you cook at the house? Is it like
No, and I think most chefs will tell you, man, they don't get crazy at home. When they go home, I want to pop something in the oven and forget about it. I want a frozen pizza.
Yeah,
you know, I want something quick. If you're cooking for 10, 12, 13 hours in a day, when you go home, you want something quick.
Yeah, I would say so. What's like one of the best, cheapest meals that you can make?
Pasta.
Pasta?
Always pasta. I mean, you can make a very, very good like tomato sauce. It's you'll hear it called bolognese sauce sometimes, and that's basically just a meat sauce. But that and noodles is very, very cheap.
Oh yeah. And I mean, you can make it look real fancy too. Like get some rigatoni or the stuffed shells.
Yeah.
Stuffed shells are
I mean,
bomb,
how
dude.
cheap do you want to go? We can go Vienna sausage.
You can make something fancy out of Vienna sausages?
No, of course not. What can you make out of Vienna? And also, it's Vienna's. I was hoping you were going to call me out. It's Vienna's. We're in Eastern Kentucky.
Man.
Don't tell me it's Vienna sausage. I used to hear that all the time. Like, dude.
Okay. Let's do some more then. Y'all a bunch of hillbillies. See, I'm from Georgia. I'm redneck.
Yeah.
Okay, so caramel or caramel?
I say caramel.
It's caramel.
You say caramel?
It's caramel.
Yeah,
man.
it's spelled caramel.
Yeah, and if you watch all the commercials, it says caramel.
It does.
But
it
y'all
does.
a bunch of hillbillies.
And you know, I feel like a lot of the dialect comes from just like taking a word and just smushing it together.
Wait, man, whenever
I do say caramel.
Dude, whenever I first moved up here, man, y'all had some words of your own, dude.
How long
like
you been
yanked.
here?
10 years now.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm a hillbilly now.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
And like I was born in Virginia.
Sure.
So yeah, like I just bounced around a lot as a kid.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, y'all have some words here that like yanked. Like y'all
Yanked?
and ain't. It's just put together. Yanked.
I don't think I ever used that one.
Dude, if you see, I also whenever I first moved here, I moved to Phelps.
Okay.
So yeah, man,
that'll
it's
do it.
Yeah, dude, you go up
Shout
some of
out
them
to
hollers,
Phelps.
man. Oh yeah, it's one of the best. It's one of my favorite places to
Yeah.
live. I wish I still.
I will
could
say
live
this:
there.
you represent Phelps.
Thank
You
you,
do.
man.
You
Thank
do. And I mean that in a very good way. You represent Phelps, and you do it in a very good way.
Dude, it's one of the best places I've ever lived. Like, and that's what I tell people. Like, yeah, it's not. Whenever it comes to stuff to do or economically developed, it's not that. But man, some of the best people that you'll ever meet in your entire life. But I'm telling you, man, I had to get an interpreter on some of those
Yeah, I
people
bet.
whenever I first moved here.
I think I got lucky in a way because, I was born in Eastern Kentucky. I grew up in Eastern Kentucky, but I had a grandmother and a mother that were very strict about my pronunciation and would correct me in a heartbeat. Like I grew up one of
Wow.
those. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ain't a word. I used to hear that a lot when I was a kid.
Ain't is
Ain't
a
a
word.
word. Like if I said ain't, in order to get me to stop saying ain't, I remember hearing ain't a word.
Is this still not a word?
It's got to be a word by now.
It
It's
has
used
to
way
be,
too
right?
much.
Dude, like I know, I heard that all the time growing up too from every English teacher that I had
Yeah.
on earth. That was their big
Ain't
argument.
is if it's not, we're gonna declare it right here. It is 100% a word. Ain't is a word at this point.
I mean, it's on everything else. It's the Merriam
Yeah,
Webster,
yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
however you pronounce
Yeah.
that. I'm not smart. I'm from Phelps. I just told y'all. Yeah,
Holla.
I mean, like it's it's on everything that I'm looking up. Ain't
Yeah.
is a word. I'm tired of people saying it
Well,
ain't.
It ain't. It was maybe it wasn't a word in the 80s and early 90s, but listen, we evolve. Our
Yeah.
language evolves.
I think we get lazy.
100%.
Yeah, dude. Like back in the day, man, you watch some of them like. Well, if you watch like a movie that has to do with like the 1800s or early 1900s, they were just so sophisticated
Yeah.
with the way that they talked. Those big
The
words.
grammar was crazy back then.
I used to, whenever I went to college, I had to help my professor actually grade papers and stuff.
Yeah.
I helped him out a lot. And I would read papers where people put the word LOL
That's shocking.
in a college
Yeah, that's shocking.
paper. Yeah, in like LMAO, you see that on,
Yeah.
like, they
took
write
me-
it out.
It took me a long time to come around to be an LOL guy. I was a ha 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 guy in text for a while.
Yeah, dude,
I
even
wasn't an LOL guy for a long time.
he's probably going to hate me for saying this. My dad was an LOL guy before I was.
That's hey,
He sent LOL to me, and like I kind of looked at my phone. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
That's weird. Yeah,
yeah.
I felt like I was going to lose my man card. I don't know why.
Yeah, LOL just didn't feel it's emasculating.
Yeah, dude.
It is. In a way, not so much maybe now.
Yeah,
but
I say it now. I was
like,
young and dumb.
Yeah, I'm talking like back in the Motorola Razr days, or was it Motorola? Whatever, the flip phone days.
Well, a Razr.
Yeah, whatever.
Has a Razr.
LOL just didn't feel right for me, so I was always ha ha ha.
Well, I seen like all the girls say LOL, and I don't know. It was my masculinity, my stupid masculinity.
Felt weird. Also, all of those abbreviations, it took me a while to come around on those. So
it's even like hard for me to say like female artist that I like. You know, like Lady Gaga's new album. That's a great album, but I can't tell my friends that. I just tell the whole world right now.
I don't know.
It's Chromatica.
Lady Gaga freaks me out a little bit. It's all American Horror Story related, though.
Oh yeah, well ever since she was on that show, it's hard to see her in any other limelight. But yeah, it's good.
And also, she might be Illuminati. We don't know.
They all are at this point. Yeah, dude, it's all connected. That's another thing too, man. Here, especially the last 2 months, dude, I've dived down some deep conspiracy theory rabbit holes.
We don't want to go here.
And that's the thing too, man. Like, it's not even like I don't seem crazy anymore. Yeah. But like, man,
some of these will really make you seem like, oh, I'm fine. I'm completely normal.
Yeah. Well, now it is normal because like that's what everybody's talking about. Like it used to be. If you were to say that somebody like Jeffrey Epstein existed 5 years ago, no one would believe you.
Yeah.
That's crazy. There's this one guy that has all these political and powerful connections that kidnaps these girls and brings them to an island. No, that don't exist. That's stupid. That's Alex Jones talk.
Yeah.
But no, it's real. Then you got the Wayfair stuff, dude.
It's I haven't gone deep on that yet, just because I know once I go down this Wayfair hole, it's going to be. I don't have that kind of time on my hands right now. But the Jeffrey Epstein, I get lost in these conspiracy theory.
What about the cashless currency?
Yeah,
I'm all about that right now. That's my big one. I
went way down. The last one I went down on, way into. I don't want to say. I want to say Epstein. It was Epstein. Was the last one I really got crazy lost in.
Yeah. Well, and man, with everything that's happened with that dude, well, everybody knows about him now. I mean, who cares? But
his lady has survived way longer than I expected her to.
How?
They should put a live stream on her.
Why?
That's
don't
the only
they?
way to protect her.
I don't get that. You know that stupid draft a few years ago, that April the draft, the one that was supposed to give birth, we had a 24/7 live stream on her, and not her. Why? I don't get that.
They gotta do something.
That'd be one of the most watched live streams in the world.
100%. People would watch it around the clock, and it would just be her like hanging out in a prison cell, but people would watch it nonstop.
All the time.
And that may be the only way to keep her from. I mean, it's a miracle she's made it this far.
Yeah, dude. I haven't watched the documentary on Netflix yet.
It's good. I've seen it.
From what I've heard, yeah, man, it's wild. And
it's very good. It's super shocking. I mean,
I watched the part about the Prince digging himself a hole.
The what?
Prince, is it Andrew?
Oh, yeah. He's.
I watched an interview with him. I think it was from that documentary.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
where he talks about not sweating. I mean, dude. He dug it. Yeah, I mean,
he dug himself a hole.
For somebody who probably not probably, he 100% has like a PR team.
Yeah.
That was the worst interview on earth. It really was. For somebody who prep for days, if not weeks, for this interview. It was shockingly bad. If he
didn't want to look guilty, he did not do a good job.
And with no context. Like, you could have no context about really anything going into that interview, and no, like, this guy clearly did what they're accusing him of.
Yeah.
He is guilty. I don't sweat.
He's like, what is he, Kim Jong-un? He don't poop, you know? The world is wild right now.
It is, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, like it's fascinating, but it's scary too, man.
It really is. It's tough to be. I mean, you got to laugh to keep from. I guess the saying is you got to laugh to keep from crying. But I mean, It really is. It's insane, some of the things. And you can really, like, if you're a person prone to anxiety, man, I feel for you right now.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Like,
tough times.
Yeah, man. Well, I really had to work on it. Like, I didn't have a bad anxiety problem before this year. And yeah, dude, like, whenever all this kicked off, man, that's 24/7 panic mode.
Yeah.
But I started taking steps to combat it. And it's, I've been doing it myself. I haven't been watching anything. I can't tell anybody anything to watch. It's just ideas that I have to not be so stressed out. Like I said, I've kind of took a break from social media. I've been wearing a lot more colorful stuff.
Yeah, shout out to your shirt today, too.
Dude,
I mean, that thing is
Walmart
just popping.
special.
It looks great.
Walmart has TLC shirts. They have Boys in the Hood. They got Prince. They got Biggie. I mean, Walmart's t-shirt
doing
game.
it. I haven't been in Walmart since pandemic. So.
Oh, but I mean, if you want some clothes, dude, especially if you're a guy right now, and girls can go over there and buy it too, man, it's good right now.
I respect the fact that you can pull that off. I feel like a large man can't pull a shirt like that off. You stand out like a turd in a punch bowl.
I think you could. I think you'd actually look like better if you were like kind of a bigger guy. Because I don't know.
It looks great. It really does, but I just envision me being on it, and I would just I would look insane.
I do like your shirt though too.
This is work. Shout out to Appalachian Wireless Arena.
That's nice swag for a work shirt though,
that's
man.
Not bad. I never get to wear it. This was like show day shirt. So all the office staff and some of the other employees, I have other work shirts that I wear in the kitchen, but they all wear these on show days. So I never get to wear it. So.
But what I've been doing though, I take a break from the news, take a break from social media, wear colorful stuff, listen to like positive.
Yeah.
Dude, I've been listening to so much Jack Johnson here lately.
Yeah,
he is one of the most positive musicians on this world. Yeah. And I just been listening to him a lot. And you can find ways to kind of calm your anxiety. But I've also been watching a lot of stand up too. I haven't wrote anything or performed anything this year, but I've been like watching it.
Where are you going to perform?
I got some stuff in mind.
Really?
I haven't said anything yet, but I will say we've got finally a venue in mind that will do something.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome, man, because I'm a huge fan, and not to be like pandering to the host too much, but I did see you open for Donnie Baker, and you were spectacular. That was the first time I'd seen you do stand up. You were hilarious, dude.
The first night sucked.
Yeah, I think in your mind, obviously you're your biggest critic.
Yeah.
But you were very good that night. I don't think it came across the way it did in your mind, but the second night you murdered that room.
Well, you
really did.
Here's the thing that people don't realize, man, and what took me a little while to realize too. See, the first night, the reason I didn't think I did so good, and this is for all stand-up comedy in general. Like, I think that this is what people want in a day and age where everything is so cancel culture and politically correctness and all that. Like on this show, of course, I'll keep it G and not gangsta, but for kids too.
Yeah, I got you.
But people want to hear crazy. Yeah, like they want to hear just plain outrageous stuff. The bad thoughts that you think in your mind, to hear somebody else say it on stage in front of a room full of people, it makes you feel like you're not alone.
Yeah.
And right now, like everybody has a weird sense of humor, I think.
Yeah.
And whenever in this day and age where everything's so uptight and everybody's walking on eggshells, to see somebody not exactly care and go for it, people love it, man. There's so many times where I've tried to hold myself back and not cross that line, and it don't go good. But as soon as I cross that line, you'll get some backlash. But people enjoy it, man. Yeah, dude. And that's another thing too, man. You'll have one person that complains, but the one person out of 100, the other 99 loved it.
Yeah.
But that one person has so much power nowadays.
And two, I get where you're coming from with the, kind of the not knowing exactly what you can and can't say, especially in a small, generally conservative community, you know. But, I watched both those shows that night, and I was actually with a bunch of the guys from the fire department, some of the staff that I work with, man, and everybody was just rolling, dude. It was great.
I would have been so much more nervous for that second show if I would have knew all those people was going to be there, but nobody told me a thing.
Oh,
It
really?
wasn't until I got off the stage that's when, like, oh yeah, the city commissioner was here,
Yeah,
the mayor
man.
was here, the
Packed
fire
house.
department
They
was
all
here.
loved it too.
Yeah, but it was, man, it was fun, and I'm hoping. See, that's another thing too, man. Like, I've had some, I'm not going to mention, but some places it does not go so good whenever you cross that line. But whenever, like, seeing back places like this that ain't, I don't exactly know. Just in places like this, I don't know if it's the conservative mindset behind it or whatever, but people are just more appreciative. And, like, even if they don't agree with what you said or didn't even find it funny, they're not going to make a big deal
Right.
about it or anything like that. Like, dude, I've got off stage at places and they say I'm, like, this host got up there and he said that I was doing hate speech. He
I
literally
mean,
said that
that's
I was
just
hate speech. But the thing, like, I'm not going to go into the joke.
Yeah.
But the two categories of people that it was about loved it. They absolutely loved it. Yeah, they thought it was hilarious. But you have these people that are thinking that they're social justice warriors sticking up for these people, and there was no need to even do it in the first place because the person that you're sticking up for found it funny.
Well, and also, if you're going to see stand-up comedy, anything that person is saying on the stage is a joke.
Yeah.
It's a joke. He's trying to make you laugh about a situation that may be serious, and you may have strong feelings about it, but you're just trying to lighten it a little bit. And if you can look at it like, more than likely this person doesn't believe some crazy thing he's saying. He's just trying to make you laugh at it. And if you can look at it like that, it's a great thing.
Yeah, and that's the thing, man. A lot of the times we're not serious about it. We're
Yeah,
just,
of course.
we're just messing around. We think it's funny, and we get this thought in our head that what we think is funny, for some reason, we think everybody else is going to find funny. But sometimes that just ain't the case. And comedians too, dude. I don't consider myself one. I ain't that far. But but for the people that pursue comedy, like, you have to have kind of a messed up mindset and a messed up sense of humor.
And just, that's one of the things that, to me, as somebody that, doesn't, or never tried, wouldn't ever give a shot to anything like that. But the thought of going up on stage with just your voice,
It's terrifying.
it's terrifying.
Yeah, dude.
You're not playing an instrument. You're not, literally, you're there to make people laugh.
But
I mean, that's like one of the hardest things I think that you can do in entertainment is going up and just making a room full of people who probably have all different types of senses of humor laugh.
yeah, and and that's the thing too, man. That's what a lot of people that coming up in comedy don't. I've only done it for 3 years, so I'm still a baby.
Yeah.
But, like, what I've come to realize, every night is not going to go great. Like that whole tour, that whole week, like, there's only 2 nights that I'm confident about that actually went good.
Right.
95% of the time, you're going to bomb hard.
And
Like,
I mean, that
yeah.
that's got to shake your confidence.
Oh
right?
yeah, dude. Oh yeah.
Especially if you're, new at it. 3 years is a long time, but in comedy years, I guess it's,
But especially if you're a perfectionist. See, like, I'm a perfectionist. Like,
Right.
it has to be good. And, like, I'm my biggest critic, man. So even if it's not like a huge bomb, it still messes with me. But when you know that you bombed, well, for me, it makes me work harder. But yeah, man, that ride home is one of the longest ride
I bet.
homes in your entire life. But, like, I haven't been writing. I've wrote a little bit, but I've just been watching a lot. Have you heard of Mark Norman?
Sure, yeah.
You're the only person.
I haven't seen a lot of his stuff, but I have seen.
Check out his latest single, Out to Lunch. It is for
Okay.
free on YouTube.
All right.
I know that you'll enjoy it because you have my same sense
I
of
feel
humor.
like I've seen him on a podcast.
He's been on
maybe
plenty.
Okay.
Yeah. But man, I'm telling you, like, I know you have my same sense of humor, so you'll enjoy it. Out to Lunch by Mark Norman. It's totally free. He's like an politically incorrect version of Seinfeld.
That's right up my alley.
Yeah,
for
like,
sure.
Like it's quick-witted jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like little one-liners, but man, he's just so far out there.
Okay.
He talks about a little
Mark
bit of everything.
Norman, Mike Norman.
Mark
Norman.
Yeah, dude. And I've been his latest special, and also Zach Galifianakis.
Yeah, I'm a big Zach Galifianakis.
I knew him as an actor. I didn't know that he'd done stand-up with the piano.
Yeah.
Man, that's one of the greatest specials I've ever seen in my entire life.
I have not seen that yet, but I do know what you're talking about. I've seen him do a little bit of stand-up. He's hilarious.
Dude,
so.
man.
He might be a genius. I don't know. I mean, he's one of those guys that's like so different than everybody else, and just his demeanor and everything on stage is he's hilarious.
And like, I don't know this for sure. I read this a few years ago. I don't know if he's still doing it, but last time I checked, he owned like a farm in North Carolina, and that's where he stays at.
Really?
Yeah, like whenever he gets done with the movie or on the road, he goes back to his farm.
I think isn't he from North Carolina? Maybe?
I think so, something like that. I know.
Yeah,
I think it's North Carolina.
he did a good job in what's the movie that they steal the gold? No, the movie him and Kristen Wiig, they steal the gold. Goo Goo Clusters.
Yeah, they steal the Wells Fargo.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about, and that's a true story too, man.
Yeah. He's great in that movie.
Yeah, I haven't watched the movie yet, but I watched the documentary about like what actually happened.
Yeah.
I forget.
I think he is from North Carolina, though, if I'm not mistaken, Zach Galifianakis. But he's great, and I mean, there's that's the kind of irreverent, like non-politically correct, that kind of humor is kind of right up my alley.
Yeah, my favorite comedians right now are Mark Norman. It's always going to be Doug Stanhope. Love Doug.
Yeah, I love Doug Stanhope.
Dude, people don't know about Doug, and if you don't,
he's way under the radar.
If you don't have a good sense of humor, or if you're easily offended, dude, Doug is not for you. Even man, I don't agree with some of the stuff he said, but like, my mouth just drops whenever I watch him. I don't even laugh. I'm like, man, you have the guts to say that.
Yeah.
He gets out there. But him, Mark Norman, Hannibal Buress just released a free special. And it was good. I forget the name of it, but it's for free on YouTube right now. And that's the thing, too, man. It sucks that we're not able to perform and stuff right now, but people need to laugh, man.
Yeah,
in this world
more
right
than
now.
ever.
Yeah,
I mean, have you seen Eric Andre's special?
I haven't
seen it yet.
So many people's been telling me
I
about
wonder
it.
if I haven't had a chance to watch it yet either. And I mean, I'm whatever. I haven't seen much Eric Andre stand up, honestly.
No, I haven't
I've
either.
seen the show when he's an absolute maniac, but
the show is funny though.
The show is
funny.
funny. It's so crazy though.
Yeah, it's off the wall.
Yeah, it's nuts. I mean, he's a madman, but I've heard his stand up's great. I think a lot of these stand ups, I'm more of a fan of they're great on podcasts. I like their podcasts more than their stand up. I'm like that with Joe Rogan.
Really?
For instance.
Well, yeah, even his latest special, man, I didn't think it was that funny.
Yeah, but I love his podcast.
Yeah.
And I think he's really funny, like conversationally, more than stand-up. And I was like that with Theo Von for the longest time. I love his stand-up now. I think he's much funnier than he used to be.
That first Netflix special, he just didn't find himself.
It was cringy almost.
Yeah, man.
I mean,
he didn't have the mullet. He was dressed all nice and proper. He just hadn't found himself.
Yeah, it was super awkward, but in, podcast form and conversationally, he's hilarious.
Yeah.
But,
and that's the thing too, man. It really ticks me off to see somebody like Theo Von because he's too good.
Yeah.
Like that's like he don't even have to try. Just sitting here talking, it's so funny. And the words that he comes up with, it's just
and phrases
genius.
Phrases he uses are ridiculous, but they're funny. I mean, I don't know if it's his delivery, but I even go back to like 5 years ago. I've been aware of him for a while, I guess, but I didn't think he was great even going back like 5 or 6 years ago. But now he's
found himself.
He's hilarious. I mean, he's probably one of the biggest comedians in the world right now, right? Or at least in the country.
Oh, yeah. Everybody that gets on the Joe Rogan podcast basically
blows up.
Yeah, I haven't even seen like many live stand-ups. The only live stand-ups, my very first stand-up show ever, like seeing, was Dave Chappelle.
Wow.
Yeah, dude.
The GOAT. I think he's the GOAT.
Oh, definitely, man. Nobody even comes close.
Yeah.
I mean, people can say Sam Kinison or George Carlin and Richard Pryor. Yeah, those are great. But, man, Dave is just on a totally different level.
He's next level. I mean, he's the funniest person who's ever lived, in my opinion. I think Chappelle Show is the greatest sketch comedy show of all time, and I mean, Chappelle just keeps getting funnier and funnier as time goes on. I mean, he's ridiculous.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He's just a genius, man, and like how he can Like that one joke that he tells, like where he says the punchline
Yeah,
first. He
he
says
can-
he
yeah.
picks it out of a bowl. I mean, how do you?
Yeah.
That's genius.
There's not
you
a
know?
lot of people that can get up there and do something like that.
No, dude.
Say punchline first and it's still funny.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
tells you the punchline, goes into the joke, hits you with the same punchline, and you laugh even harder. How
year-
is that possible?
What year was that you saw Chappelle? That's awesome,
dude, it wasn't long.
That's
It was
a
like-
hell of a start. That's
Yeah,
a hell
man.
of a first comedy show to
it
see.
was him. He had Darnell with him, and I think Michelle Wolf. Pretty
Okay.
sure that. And Michelle's funny too. I like Michelle.
Yeah.
I seen him. Well, all of them. Tom Segura, got to see Tom.
Okay.
Bert, got to see Bert. And a few others. Not like huge.
Where
big
was
names.
this?
All comedy off Broadway.
Oh, nice.
Well, besides Chappelle, and I seen Ron White. Chappelle
Okay.
and Ron were at the Louisville Palace.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, dude, it was Chappelle, man. And he went for like it was over an hour. And
Really?
you see, like sometimes like you can tell when stuff is scripted.
Yeah.
But with him, dude, it's just like he's just talking.
Yep.
And there's this one stand-up. Well, it ain't a special or anything. He just dropped by somewhere, but people can find it on YouTube. He does a 4-hour comedy set.
That's
4
bananas.
hours. Like, man, it takes me a while to prepare 20 minutes. 4
4
hours.
hours is. Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine being up there for 5 minutes, so it's tough for me to. Yeah.
Well, people that I've like seen talk about him, they say like, yeah, he'll come into venue at like 12 o'clock, and people have to like leave and go home because he just don't stop. He'll be there till 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, there's to me for at least a few years now, he's just been the GOAT. I think he's the funniest person for me, for my sense of view. I think he's the funniest person ever.
But even around this area, man, stand-up comedy is I think it's going to be bigger around here as time goes on because the Donnie shows they've done so good.
Yep.
Rodney bringing him in.
Yep.
And yeah, it's nothing but potential. And stand-up comedy too, man. There's a rise right now, a rise like no other. And I think it's because of the way that we were talking about the world is in right now. Not just because of the cancel culture, but just how crazy everything is. People want to laugh.
Yeah, and I think like you said, I think the Donnie Baker show went a long way to show people who are in a position to book stuff like that what it can do.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, those were great shows. Everybody who came out had a good time. I think Donnie had a good time. I know you had a great time. So it was good to see Pikeville come out and support stand-up comedy because I think it would go over well. Obviously we're fans of it, but I think
I'm going to try to talk them into getting like Theo Von or somebody.
I think it would be great.
Theo would
it'd
do
be great.
awesome.
If we can ever get back to having a large group of people, I think there's a lot of comics that could come around here and clean up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And that's another, and like we were saying too, man, like this area they know how to laugh. So a big shout out to them. But man, we're running out of time.
Yeah, we've gone on for a while.
Yeah, dude, it's been fun though. It has been a whole lot of fun. And for the people that may have forgot, you are executive chef at the Appalachian Wireless Arena. You're still doing events right now.
Still doing events 50 and under. If you're interested in the Overlook Event Center or booking an event at the Appalachian Wireless Arena in the ballrooms, you can get a hold of me at wes@appwirelessarena.com or Andrea Collins, who is our senior events director her email is andrea@appwirelessarena.com. And listen, man, thanks for having me up here,
Hey,
dude. It was a blast.
thank you, man. This has been a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, we'll do it again soon, Wes.
Definitely.
Thank you for everything. Thank you for keeping those pizza puffs always fresh and tasting good.
Always.
You and your team, man, doing a wonderful job. Everybody at the arena, Overlook, shout out to y'all, man. Thank you for
man.
everything. And I guess I'll see you in September at the Rodney
man.
Carrington.
I hope we're doing football maybe in September.
Yeah.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
But folks, see y'all. There we go, man.
That was awesome.
Dude, this was fun. This was a whole lot of fun.
It was really